Oh, hi there. I'm just taking photos. What am I taking photos of? That step back there. I'm also taking photos of this area right here. You see, this area is puddling, and so we need to lift it up. We're gonna clean each and every one of these blocks off. And then we're gonna relay them back in, same pattern. That's why I'm taking pictures, so that I can remember where everything was. We're gonna relay the same blocks in, but it's gonna be level and sloping away from the house instead of accumulating water all along here. The step is also uneven. There's some puddling always here, where there's a little lip behind here. Always some puddling there. So we're gonna do the same thing. Take all the blocks out, clean them all off, clean all the old glue and sand off, and then make it pretty again. Safety first. There you go. What I do is I put them together upside down. So this is all being laid out the way it was put in, so that we can put it back together the way it was put in. I'm just clean this off so I can take a nice picture of it. You know, before phones, we just had to use our brains. Basically, it's just a big puzzle. I actually don't like puzzles in normal life because I deal with so many in my regular life. And honestly, if they're not made out of precast, dried concrete that has been dyed very nicely and cut into modular shapes with the molds, they're not nearly as exciting for me. It's hard to put these on your dining room table for the whole family to enjoy. We're relaying this because it's sloping in. You can see it's sloping in behind here. What happens is water collects here, and then instead of flowing over the top of the step and out, it goes in behind and causes havoc and causes more sinking, more tripping hazards, more problems. Also, the sand has kind of degraded a bit, so it's more like dirt now. It's not polymeric sand as much anymore, and so that also lets water in. Water is like the #1 enemy of Interlock, especially in Ottawa, because what's going to happen in the winters, we're going to have some freezes and some thaws. Water's going to get in. Water expands when it freezes, and so water will get in behind here, push. When it freezes, it will expand and push the step further out, causing more shifting, which makes the whole thing weaker and more unlevel, and so on and so forth. It's a vicious cycle.
Right now, I'm just lifting out these pavers and making sure that there's no dirt or stone dust on them, so that when we put them back, there's no rocking.
Let's do some quality control. How's the quality?
Good.
I always book the chiropractor directly after days like today. So, before this all goes back in, polys have to be cleaned off. Probably make one of the other guys do it. What are we doing here? Glad you asked. I'm just gonna cut this back a bit, like so that I can put my step in, because my blocks are about 11 inches or so. I want to have a little bit of room to play, so that I can put them in nicely and not be disturbing this stuff back here.
Alright, so we just picked up all our material for the job. We got two different kinds of crushed stone. We got our granular A, or our GA here. It's a bit larger stone, 3/4 mixed with some smaller fine dust. That's going to be used for our base to kind of build up all the layers. It'll compact down really nice and solid, and it makes a really stable, solid base. And then over here we got our stone dust. It's a 1/4 inch clear, like chip stone, mixed in with a bunch of fines as well. It'll compact down nicely as well, and then it's used for our bedding layer, which we can make really nice and level and smooth.
So 6 inches plus 3 inches, 6-inch block, 3-inch cap equals 9. Thin layer of glue, so like 9 and a 16. So we want it basically 9 and an 1/8. Right, we're at 10 and an 1/8. So add an inch and a bit of gravel, compact that down. Add an inch of gravel, compact it down so we can add some stone dust. Then we're good to go. Did it land in the wheelbarrow? It did. So I got this layer of gravel in. I'll check my height again. Okay, it's a little too high, but we're gonna tamp it down a bit, so that's a little fine. It's not perfect, but these large particles are very hard to grade in a small area. So overall, it's level. I'm gonna grab that thing that David brought me called the hand tamper, compaction. So watering it allows it to compact. I don't pretend to understand the science, but I use the science. Yeah, that's like toy.
Right now I'm just cleaning off these wall blocks. I'm making sure there's no dirt on them, and I'm chipping off this glue so that the caps sit nice and tight on them. There's no wobbling.
Snap it here. Oh, there. Alright, I just put a little bit of stone dust in, just to help smooth out the little rough pieces. This is the slow part. Ah! Okay, so why I'm trying to get this nice and tight in there is because this is our limiting factor. We can't go any higher than this. I want to go as high as possible. That way we can lift this walkway up a little bit more and slope it away. So if this step was further down, then we might get some puddling here if we didn't lift this up enough. So, because we want to lift the rest of things up, and this is our limiting factor, I'm trying to get it as close as possible. Make sure everything's clean. We've leveled everything. A lot of leveling has gone on. Sloping, grading. Put these in. Make sure they're sitting nicely. See, there's like no crack here. Sitting perfectly beside each other. Okay, so here we have some really ugly cuts they made for this corner. So it's not very stable. You don't want to be making garbage cuts like this. If I was gonna cut it something like this, I probably would have cut this one a little bit and left this one larger. Like how they cut this. Well, I don't even know what was happening here. Why they made an L. Honestly, looks like an ancient symbol from days of yore. Maybe a ruin. They really shouldn't have cut this like this. But they did. And here we are. Yes. Take beaucoup de photo. Here they obviously just took all their leftover cut pieces because they needed to fill a hole and just fill it in with these random cuts, which is horrifying. But we'll just take it piece by piece, keep track of it so we don't lose it, and reuse them. So I'm just using this flamethrower blowtorch thingy to dry off the blocks, because we don't want any moisture compromising our glue bond. We want it to cure nicely. We want the glue to cure nicely. So I'm just spacing it out, making sure it's all good. It's gonna go back in nicely because once I add the glue, I don't want to take it off. One thing though, do this, like put it down a little bit beside it and kind of push it in. That way you kind of break the glue bead. So you just put it down like that, this, and then I can wiggle it in. That way you got a wider coverage of the glue. Grab my trusty mallet, do a little this, do a little that, but the step is done.
This side is going to probably come up a bit and slope to the down to our right. The camera's left.
Yeah.
So this side will probably stay the same height, but we're going to build this up a little bit.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan. So I'll start scraping this out.
Yeah.
And then pull this one out while you guys finish taking this stuff out.
Lift up the rest of
Then we
that.
get our gravel grate in. Super tight.
Quite nice.
There we go.
Just trying to make it nice and clean, ready to regrade and put everything back in.
We're just putting this gravel in because there was a big puddle here. So we're raising this up. You don't want to raise it up with stone dust or sand or anything stupid. You want to use good, hard gravel. We've calculated. We want to make a 5.5 inch step here that drops to 6 inches there. Normally we do, that's a 1/2 inch of slope over 4 feet. Normally we do a 1/4 inch, but we want to have a nice slope away so there's good drainage to the side.
Right now I am just leveling the stone dust, and I'm making sure that the pavers will match the driveway so there's no tripping hazard and no lip.
So we're about to, we just rated our gravel over top of our walkway here. So we have it sloping in all the directions that we want to go. So the next step is to take our plate compactor and compact down the gravel. We're going to run over it a few times just to make sure it's really solid and compacted down before we add our bedding layer on top.
Oh, thank you.
Do or do not. There's no try.
So there's this hole right here. It doesn't make sense. That's why we take photos, because we're all trying to lay in stuff quick. It's like, how'd that get there? Oh, yeah, that's too high up.
That shifts down half a block.
Yeah. Okay.
There we go. And cut. Love it. Oh, nice.
There we go. Now we're gonna cut all these, and this row will fit nicely in there. Hi.
I do it like this. It's good to do it like this. So you get, like you're pre-spreading it. If you spread it just with a broom, like, see what David did? Yeah. I don't like that.
It all fell out.
You want to do it like this?
We're now watering the sand to activate the polymers. So the sand, the structure of the sand molecules provides friction that prevents the blocks from moving from side to side, up and down, etc. But they used to do this and then the sand would all wash away. So the polymers in the sand make the sand harder and make it more difficult to wash away. So a common misconception is that the polymeric sand becomes like grout.
like concrete. It does not. It just becomes like hard sand. I'm trying to get the sand to, I don't want the sand to wash out while I'm doing this. So I water it, let it kind of seep through the joints, come back over it again, water it again, let it seep. At the start of today, this walkway was unlevel, full of weeds and moss, puddling areas. That just was not great. The step was a little bit leaning over. There was a little bit of a tripping hazard because it was uneven. So we took every single block out, cleaned it off them up one by one, added gravel throughout to raise the grade in different areas, make sure the slopes are good, rebuilt the steps, rebuilt the inlay, relayed the walkway all through here, put a new polymeric sand, called it a day. So another good day at Ottawa Interlock repair. We finished pretty quick, honestly. It's only 3:38. We started here at about 7:30, 7:37 or something. So got a lot done in a short time. Yeah, worked very hard, and we are pleased with the results.